Dear Seagull Exchange user, greetings. Today, I will introduce to you the SGC computing power mining model of the Seagull Exchange. First of all, I will introduce to you the sources of SGC computing power section. Source 1. When a user purchases a signal source with UST, the SGC smart contract will automatically gift cloud computing power based on every 1 USDT invested in the signal source. Source 2. Burn SGC to obtain more cloud computing power. Source 3. Participate in the platform's cloud computing power airdrop activities. Next, I will introduce to you the SGC token section. SGC is the full name Seagull coin, referred to as SGC for short. The total global circulation volume is 21 million pieces, and after extreme compression, the circulation volume is finally maintained. The initial issuance price of SGC is 0.01 UST, and its core purpose is mainly to pay for platform handling fees, community governance voting, and ecological rights certificates. Next, I will continue to introduce you to the SGC pot. SGC, all SGC tokens total 21 million pieces are placed in the SGC UST pot. The SGC tokens in the pot will be released 0.4% to 1% every day according to the output rules and will be distributed to users as a reward for computing power mining. UST, all subscribed supernodes and ordinary nodes will be placed in the SGC UST pot, and 21 supernodes and 105 ordinary nodes will invest a total of 210,000 UST to the pot. After introducing the SGC pot, we will continue to introduce the SGC output. There are 5 stages of SGC mining output. Phase 1, when the number of SGCs in the pot is between 21 million and 10,500,000. Release 0.4% of SGC in the pot every day and follow the calculation power mining formula to mine the entire network. Phase 2, when the number of SGCs in the pot is between 10,500,000 and 5,250,000. Release 0.6% of SGCs in the pot every day according to the calculation power mining formula for the whole network mining. Phase 3, when the number of SGCs in the pot is between 5,250,000 and 2,625,000. Release 0.8% of SGCs in the pot every day according to the calculation power mining formula for the whole network mining. Phase 4, when the number of SGCs in the pot is between 2,625,000 and 210,000. Release 1% of SGCs in the pot every day according to the calculation power mining formula for the whole network mining. Phase 5, when the number of SGCs in the pot is less than 210,000. The pot stops releasing SGCs. When the SGC number in the pot is less than 210,000, the pot stops releasing SGC, and the SGC sold by the user will be directly invested into the SGC UST pot. If the SGC sold by the user causes the SGC number in the pot to be greater than 210,000, the Phase 4 mining rule will be triggered again. Please note, when Phase 4 and Phase 5 alternately appear, the rule will continue until all 20,790,000 SGCs are destroyed and stopped. Next, I will introduce you to the SGC computing power formula. SGC mining reward distribution proportion. Personal computing power, 50%. Team computing power, 30%. Node computing power, 10%. Permanent computing power, 5%. Development team, 5%. The SGC mining formula is as follows. Individual SGC mining daily earnings equals base pool balance multiplied by daily pool release ratio multiplied by 50% multiplied by individual hash rate divided by total personal hash rate. For example, the personal computing power of user A is 10,000 gigabytes per second, and the personal computing power of the entire network is 1 million gigabytes per second. The number of SGCs in the pot on that day was 21 million. With a release ratio of 0.4%. Then the pot on that day will release 84,000 SGCs. According to the personal computing power SGC mining formula, the personal computing power SGC mining revenue of user A is 21 million multiplied by 0.4% multiplied by 50% multiplied by 10,000 divided by 1 million equals 420 SGC. The team's SGC mining revenue per day is calculated as base pool balance times daily release ratio times 30% times the team share of total network computing power. For example, user B's team has a computing power of 10,000 gigabytes per second, while the total network team computing power is 1 million gigabytes per second. The base pool contains 21 million SGC coins today, with a release ratio of 0.4%. This means 84,000 SGC will be released from the pool today. According to the team computing power SGC mining formula, user B's daily mining income is calculated as 21 million multiplied by 0.4%, multiplied by 30%, multiplied by 10,000 divided by 1 million, which equals 252 SGC coins. Daily SGC mining income from node computing power equals the base pool balance multiplied by the daily release percentage multiplied by 10% multiplied by the node's computing power share of the total network computing power. For example, user C's node has a computing power of 10,000 gigabytes per second, while the total network node computing power is 1 million gigabytes per second. The base pool contains 21 million SGC today with a release rate of 0.4%, which means 84,000 SGC will be released. According to the node mining formula, user C's daily reward equals 21 million multiplied by 0.4%, multiplied by 10%, multiplied by 10,000 divided by 1 million, which equals 84 SGC coins. The daily SGC mining reward for a permanent node equals the base pool balance multiplied by the daily release percentage multiplied by 5%, then divided by 10. The result is the daily SGC mining income for each permanent node. For example, user D's node has a computing power of 10,000 gigabytes per second, while the total network node computing power is 1 million gigabytes per second. The base pool contains 21 million SGC today with a release rate of 0.4%, which means 84,000 SGC will be released. According to the permanent node SGC mining formula, user D's daily mining reward is calculated as follows. 21 million multiplied by 0.4% multiplied by 5% multiplied by open parentheses 10,000 divided by 100,000 close parentheses equals 420 SGC. Important note, if there are fewer than 10 permanent nodes, the calculation will still be based on 10 nodes. Any undistributed SGC from unrealized airdrops will be permanently burned. Finally, I will introduce to you the rules for splitting SGC assets when sold. When a user sells SGC, the system will split the sold SGC in a certain proportion. 95% of the quantity will be burned, and the remaining 5% will be used for airdrop rewards. Among the 95% of SGC that are burned, 50% of the SGC will be immediately burned and obtain withdrawable USDT from the pool into the user's USDT wallet balance. The USDT assets obtained in this part can be directly withdrawn to your wallet. 40% of the SGC will be immediately burned, and the USDT obtained from the base pool will automatically refill the pool. Then, at a rate of 1 USDT equals 1 gigabytes per second, the equivalent computing power will be allocated to continue mining. 5% of the SGC will be immediately burned, and the USDT obtained from the base pool will be allocated to the project team's fund wallet address for daily operations and maintenance. The remaining 5% will be automatically split and allocated to the global dividend pool for airdrops to the top 100 SGC token holders. That concludes the full explanation of the SGEX computing power mining mode. Welcome to Seagull Exchange. Let's collaborate and grow together.